It's Wednesday, 26 August, and I'm back at Guffiga Power Station. Last weekend there was a lot of snow, even snowed in Canberra. I was here, I think, about a week ago, and there was no snow before Horse Camp Hut. You can put the snowshoes on right at the power station again. A lot of cars in the car park. Was able to get to Horse Camp Hut by about 5 o'clock. So decided to camp at Horse Camp Hut and pitched a tent. There's families here, been building all sorts of snow structures around the hut. Looks like they've been here a few days. Tonight's dinner was beef kebab, stir-fried with some salad. It was nice. Time is 6:30 a.m. and it's a nice morning. Just got up. A bit cold last night, although it was okay after, in the second half of the night, had the hood done right up. I think it was about -6 degrees this morning. Sun came up, but there's still a bit of cloud around. Cloud seems to be building now too. Time's 10 a.m. and everyone's left. I'm the last to leave. Getting a bit cloudy the last hour or so. Someone said it's going to snow again this afternoon. I'm heading to Whites River, possibly even to Schlink today. And this is Munyang River, the bridge crossing. Time's 10:26. Time is 11:20 and I'm at the Disappointment Spur turn-off. arrived at Whites River Hut. It was very white out and quite windy. Had lunch inside the hut and there was quite a few other people around. A couple of tents outside. So the choice was to continue up over Schlink's Pass to Schlink Hut or to stay at Whites River. The consensus seems to be that it's going to be a bit windy tonight, but Friday, tomorrow, is going to be better, less wind and might even be sunny. That's what the forecast people seem to be following. So I decided I'd stay at Whites River because the wind's coming from the northwest and Schlink Hut very exposed to the northwest and this right up in the trees. More protection from the wind at Whites River Hut. Pitched a tent outside the hut trying to get a bit of protection from the hut. Filled up with water from the creek, tied the billy onto the end of the walking pole and was able to ladle the water out of the creek without having to get down into the creek. The white battery's gone flat and I've now put it in the smart charger. I tried charging it earlier at Horse Camp Hut but didn't charge then. Don't know what the difference is, but I'm charging it from the power bank inside the tent at Whites River. Well, it's 10 past 10 and I'm in the tent just outside Whites River Hut. Been very windy. Wind picked up at 8:30 and soon after that it started to snow. It was forecast. So my fate is now with want and whether the tent holds up. Flapping around quite a bit as you can see. It's a bit cold because I think the wind's blowing a bit through the tent. It's only got the mesh. So I'm wearing shirt, light long sleeve vest. It's a long sleeve shirt and originally was just wearing the down jacket inside the sleeping bag, but it was a bit cold in the upper body, so now I've put on the bush shirt. So that's nice and warm now. So hope I survive till morning, and it's supposed to be forecast for much better weather in the morning. So that's where my fate lies. So I'll try and get some sleep, but a bit hard, very noisy in the tent, as you'd expect. Bit crowded in the hut, that's a final resort. I could retreat there. There's quite a few people around the hut here, and some staying in the hut. Time is 6:20. Sun's going to come up soon. The wind and the snow seem to stop somewhere around 1 a.m, 2 a.m. About 8:10, the tent now in the sunshine and the battery's now charging. It's the Jaycar Powerbank A battery. Used it to charge the Canon M50 battery about 3 times so far. Time is 10:25 and about to leave Whites River Hut. Destination Tin Hut. Time is 10:40 and leaving the Schlink Trail to head up the hill up onto the tops and then head along the range to Tin Hut. Time is 11:41 and just completed the first climb. Quite steep at start, but then levelled off a bit towards the top. Now I go down a bit into a creek, but on the other side of the creek there's another big climb as well. Time is 1:15 and just across Gungarton Pass, altitude hovering around 2,000 metres. It's about 2 kilometres northeasterly direction to Tin Hut. I'd been following the snowshoe tracks all the way up from White River Hut up to Gungarton Pass, but on the way down from Gungarton Pass quickly lost them. Fortunately, I had the GPS set for the position of the hut from the aerial photograph. Someone told me that the position on the topographic map is in error. Hut is suddenly hard to find because it's in the middle of the trees. There's a lot of trees around. Time is 2:10 and just arrived at Tin Hut. Doesn't look as though there's anybody here. It's a small hut. Looks like one side of the hut's covered by snow. Charger connected to the panel with the white battery. It charged and reached full charge by the time I packed up, when the shadows were starting to encroach where I had the solar panel at 4:30 p.m. The creek near the hut is covered by snow, so water not very accessible. I'm resorting to melting the snow from around the hut to get water for tonight. Up at 4:30 a.m. to go outside and get some star shots. Clear sky. Winds have picked up a bit from yesterday. Still not too bothering, but very cold outside. It was about -3 degrees inside the hut. Temperature outside the hut looks to be about -5 degrees. Time's almost 10 o'clock and got this magnificent view over the Valentines River with Mount Jagungal in the distance. I think about 40 minutes to Mawson's hut. Once I get there, then I'll decide what to do next. Time is 11:05 and arrived at Mawson's hut. No one at the hut. Going to have lunch and then decide what to do next. Time's 2:05 and the 3 people that came over from Whites River for a day trip have left, so I'm alone here at this present time. Just been down to the creek just below the hut and there was a opening in the snow, very soft, almost fell through at one point, but I gingerly attached the billy to the end of the pole like I had before and was able to get the water up out of the hole and pour it into my receptacles without any problem. Got my sleeping bag out in the sun to air a bit and dry out. If it's wet, don't think so, but good to get some air in the sun. And also charging the batteries from the solar panel. That seems to be doing well. The Jaycar power bank was flashing on the 4th lead, but now I'm charging one of the Canon M50 batteries. It's a white battery and that seems to be charging. So I'll just sit down and relax and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Time is 2:36 and sitting on the bench, came from the hut So just enjoying the sun, quite warm. Dispensed with my wool shirt a while ago, but I guess as the sun gets lower it'll get colder and I'll be running for the wool shirt. Just me and the crows here, and there's a little bird as well. Don't know what sort it is. Maybe no one else will come. Sign saying rats in the hut, so thought, well, nice weather, I'll camp under this nice snow gum. So thinking tomorrow head over to Valentine's, not very far to Valentine's. The weather forecast is a bit variable tomorrow, a bit of sun, and then I think it's going to get cloudy and possible light snow in the evening. I think the general trend for the coming week is for strong wind. So after Valentine's I was thinking perhaps White River. So it'd be Monday, so Sunday Valentine's, Monday White River, and then Tuesday back at the car. So that's probably how it'll turn out, I think. Enjoy the sun while it's around. The 3 people that skied over from Whites River and had lunch at the hut, they've now gone, of course. They said there was 23 people camped at Whites River last night. Quite crowded, actually. But unless anyone turns up, I'll have Mawson Hut to myself, and last night I had Tin Hut to myself. A lot of people just concentrate on the Schlink Trail huts, Horse Camp, Whites River and Schlink Hilton. The more backcountry skiers and snowshoers will venture out to Mawson and Tin Hut. Right back at the beginning, I think Wednesday, met some people who were going to go beyond the Valentine and Gehi rivers and even out to Jagungal. So apparently the car park at Guffiga Power Station's quite crowded. A lot of people out enjoying the late snow, getting soft. I don't know if it'll be around too many more weeks, especially in Mawson, Valentine. Bit low altitude, it'll melt here pretty fast. Time is 3:30 and the white battery for the Canon M50 has reached full charge. It was initially flat, was rejected by the camera, so it's pretty impressive. The solar panels charged that battery from flat to full charge. I think from memory could be about 7 watt-hour of energy required. This is 2-person serve of vegetarian stir fry. I've put it in the frying pan and I'm going to divide it and have part tomorrow and part tonight. I have carefully transferred half the serve into the 250ml cup using the tiny cup. It took about 3.5 measures of the tiny cup to transfer the half serve. Then I transferred the remaining half serve back into the pouch for tomorrow. Time is 5:15 and the sun is now dropping behind the ridge to the west of the hut. So that's the end of the sun for today. Inside the hut now to cook dinner, which will be the soup plus the half of the 2-person serves vegetarian stir fry that I just separated into halves. Time is just past 6 a.m. and been up a couple of times during the night, poking my head out of the tent to take some pictures of the moonlit snow. And then when the moon set around 3:45, I tried some photos with the stars, but the stars not shining that brightly. Wind's picked up a little bit. Going to get up soon and start getting moving. Birds all started their activity around 6 o'clock. I exhausted one of the Canon M50 batteries with the photos overnight, so I thought I'd connect it up to the charger and try recharging it, but not behaving very well. It's a white battery, of course, and the display on the smart chargers just flashing blue and then blank. Just seems to cycle through that about once every second. Got one of the black batteries out, but it's behaving the same as well. Not sure what's going on there. I was using the phone at times, had it set for the alarm, and also as a monitor for some of the time-lapse photos. It was 81% charged. Then when I hooked it up to the battery using separate cable, it's a USB-C cable, it showed 99% charging, and so I don't know what's going on here. Jumped from 81% to 99%, very short period of time. Temperature inside the tent's about -2 degrees Celsius. breakfast is the usual rolled oats. I've added a bit of milk and I've added some blueberries. Getting a bit mushed now, the blueberries in the backpack. Nice, make it a bit sweeter. Time is 9:43 and all packed up and just about ready to leave. Both the power bank and the mobile phone have reached 100% charge this morning out at the steps in the sunlight. Just noticed that part of the metal frame attached to the rubber where the foot rests on the snowshoe, it's broken. Time's 10 AM and about to leave Mawson's hut. Still wearing the Swan-Dry wool shirt. If it weren't for the wind, it'd be warm enough in the sun to have 2 layers underneath. But it's windy and I've got to climb up over the Kerries, which is altitude almost 2,000 metres. Dare say it's going to be quite windy up there. So that's why I'm keeping the shirt on at the present, and we'll see how it goes as I climb up. Only 3 kilometres direct distance to Valentine's, not far. Shouldn't take all that long. And I'm up at the top. You can see the clouds building up in the west. Looks like the weather's going to change. Got to head west now to get to Valentine's. Time is 10:38 and at the top of a climb up from Mawson's hut. Getting quite windy up here. Clouds building up to the west. I expect the weather's going to be changing over the next day. Change direction now to westerly towards Valentine's hut, and it's only about 2.5 kilometres away. Time is 11:27 and emerging from the forest at 242,896. Going to cross this open valley of a little creek and probably less than a kilometre to Valentine's hut. This is the second half of last night's vegetarian stir fry. Time's 5:45, so I'll take it off and put the pot cosy on. 7:30 and have finished dinner. First course was a vegetarian stir fry and second course 2 pancakes with butter. During dinner the wind is getting up a bit and also clouds coming rapidly overhead from the west, and now I can't see any stars. The window and saw no clouds, so grabbed the camera and went outside and took some pictures of the hut and the surrounding trees. They're all lit up by what looks like an almost full moon now. It's way over in the east, but providing plenty of light, which was lighting up the hut in brilliant red. At 6 AM it's all cloudy. On the bright side though, there's hardly any wind. Time is 8 o'clock and we'll very shortly be leaving Valentine's hut. I've just sent out message saying heading to Whites River and back at the car tomorrow being Tuesday. Just fingers crossed that the snowshoes stay together. Both snowshoes a bit damaged with the metal frame cracking in 2 different places. Bit cloudy today. Time is 8:36 and just stopped and taken off the jacket and gloves. Just noticed that the left snowshoe hinge joint now broken on one side and a lot of play. Not sure how long it'll survive now. Might give it a little try. Might take it off, not sure yet. Actually now decided to take the snowshoes off and strap them to the pack. There's too much play in the foot plate on the broken snowshoe, and wouldn't be long before the left side of the hinge snaps and the foot plate will fall off completely. Bit much slow progress, so I'm now trying, second plan is to use my rope, and I've now strapped the foot plate down onto the snowshoe so it can't move. See how that goes. Won't be able to lift the foot, but might better than nothing, I guess. So we'll see how it goes. Time is 9:05 and just stopped to take a photo Progress since binding the snowshoe has been okay. Heel can lift a little bit and seems to be staying in place. So we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed this will get me through without any further problem. Time's 9:22 and stopped again. The knots at the end of the rope were starting to come loose, so I've had to re-engineer the lashing, so try and make it more rigid and less prone to unravel. Anyway, that's the idea. We'll see how this one goes. Time is 9:55 and so far so good. The lashing on the snowshoe is holding. That's Duck Saddle in the distance. Got to go over that and then across a creek and then within half a kilometre be on the Schlink Trail. Going to try and cross this snow bridge, and then it'll be a clear run up to the saddle on the other side of the creek. Well, I made it. Snow's getting a bit soft. This side of the creek gets more sun, so it's going to be even softer. Spoke too soon. My foot went right through. It's going to be hard getting out of this one. Well, that's the hole my right foot went down into. Time is 10:30 and at the top of the saddle at Duck Creek. Go down the other side, across one more creek, one little bridge. Time is 10:49 and standing on the bridge. This is the bridge I was referring to a little while ago. Time is 11:16 and almost at the Schlink Trail there where all the trees are. So it'd be the Schlink Trail, past Schlink Hut, over Schlink Pass and then down the other side past Whites River, Horse Camp Hut and onto the power station. Now on the trail proper. Time is midday and just passing Schlink Hut. One person on cross-country skis has just arrived. Not going to stop here, going to keep going up over the pass. Wondering whether to tempt fate with this snow bridge. Not sure. Well, I made it. It was quite simple really. Maybe in a few days' time might be a bit more precarious. This is where I crossed. Another snow bridge to cross, but not very far now to the top of the pass. Two skiers up there on the road. I can hear their voices. Time's 12:52 and at the top of Schlink Pass. I'm going to leave the road and follow the valley bottom down to Whites River Hut, camp there tonight. Time is 2:30 and at White River. No one else here at present. Beautiful sunny day. Got the solar panel out charging. Think the Jaycar power bank pretty full at the moment. Another snow bridge, bit steep on the descent, but there's the hut. No, looks like no one here. Decided to camp outside and pitching the tent in someone else's redoubt. Must have taken quite some time to dig this work out. Got my sleeping bag out, getting some sun. Time's almost 3 o'clock. Dinner tonight will be the pancakes, this packet soup, and I've got some leftover pasta and sauce. I'll add some milk to that. And first off, making some pancakes. It's 20 to 5 and the sun's just gone down behind the mountain to the west of the hut. Both boots were sitting beside me in the tent, but come morning, trying to get them on, very difficult. Even the socks, which were wet, were frozen. The left boot has got a little crack in the leather and it leaks, so that boot's wetter and it's more difficult to get on. The water bottle was lying in the tent flat beside me last night and got quite a decent layer of ice on the top. Clouds are moving quite quickly down the valley from the north. This morning when pulling down the tent, took quite a bit of chipping away with one of the tent pegs to be able to extract the other tent pegs which were held solid into the ice. Time is 8:10 and the sun's just hit the roof of a woodshed and the frost is really melting. A lot of drips coming down over the doorway. Time is 8:33 and all packed up and about to leave Whites River Hut. Trying to decide whether to just walk with the boots and tie the snowshoes onto the backpack. Snow's very ice at the moment, so won't be sinking at all. Make good time, I suppose, but then have to unlash the rope from the broken snowshoe, and then if it gets softer down the bottom, then might have to re-lash it again. Well, my decision is to dispense with the snowshoes, and I've got them now strapped to the back of the pack. Rubbing of the rope on maybe some of the metal in the snowshoe as I walked has badly abraded it in a couple of places, so rope's on its last days. We'll leave now and try and make good time. Time is 9:40 and at the concrete bridge over the Munyang River. Bit of grass now showing through, it's good for me. Helicopter just flew past from the snowfields heading towards Canberra. Time is 9:55 and at the Horse Camp Hut turn off. Estimate bit over an hour now back to the car park. Time is 10:26 and at the junction where the Aqueduct Trail comes in, so downhill now back to the power station. The two snowmen that were under construction when I came in Wednesday last week have shrunk considerably in size. Time is 11:09 and back at the power station. Most of the snow in the car park all gone now.